So, a Batman game as an RPG usually has some RPG elements somewhat, but moving more towards that full-on RPG where you can go ahead and customize certain abilities and there are levels, things like that. Let's go ahead and discuss the interesting aspect of Batman Gotham Knights and its way to tackle the RPG playstyle that many games are trying to do nowadays. Okay, so we have seen many games go for this style of RPG elements, this style of gameplay where you go ahead and have a level above the enemy's head and you choose to fight them based on your level of your character. Biggest example is the Assassin's Creed series. Going from Assassin's Creed Syndicate to Assassin's Creed Origins is a pretty hefty jump. And while, for example, Syndicate did have levels, it wasn't really intrusive as Assassin's Creed Origins. In Origins, you could not assassinate an enemy that was way higher of a level than you are. And that was a major problem with the community there. And of course, I didn't like it as well. It wasn't as good. I play Assassin's Creed to, sounds bad, but I like to one-hit enemies and do assassinations. That's what I like. I don't like it when the enemies are too high level, I can't one-hit them. I play Borderlands for, tougher, bullet spongy enemies. I don't play Assassin's Creed for that. Okay, so that is one of the problems that come with this level-based system. And I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be. The developers did say it's not going to be grindy to a point where you can't, just not fight enemies higher level than you. And I think that is the way to go. I think that not being able to do a silent takedown on an enemy because it's level 15 but you're level 11 is not as good. Meanwhile, I'm okay with the enemies having, let's say, a higher health bar, having heightened senses, like being able to do things that are notably more challenging, but not like just annoyingly challenging to a point where you cannot stealth your way through a section or cannot go behind an enemy or something like that. I do think that this comes into play with the skills you unlock, different movesets, different gadgets, things like that. That will come in handy and definitely would be a pretty good tool to use when it comes to this level-based system. Let's say Batgirl doesn't have the Bat Claw right away, or don't have her Batarang right away, and that's how unlocked you have to get as far as leveling up. Okay, fine. Makes sense. You're able to fight, bigger, stronger enemies once you have your Bat Claw, once you have your Batarangs, once you have this certain moveset. And I do enjoy the concept of this style of RPG gameplay. I love it a lot. Game that came out recently, of course, is Ghost of Tsushima, and this game does it fantastically. You can get new abilities, new fighting styles, all kinds of new gadgets and stuff, but you can still one-hit assassinate the enemy depending on who they are, and this is probably the way that I would like the game to go. You can go ahead and get new abilities to help you fight easily, but you can still end up assassinating or, in this game, silent takedowns from the enemies if you want to go ahead and play stealthy. That is really, really great, and I can't wait to see what gadgets, what upgrades, unlocks they have for the whole Bat family. I think it really does suit this game because the whole purpose of the Bat family is to provide like a recruit or a family of people who fight crime, who want to get better, who want to be just like Batman, to instill fear into Gotham. And since Batman, of course, is seemingly gone, we have the Bat family rising up. They might not be as skilled, as great at fighting and detective work as Batman, but later on they kind of develop new skills as they go through the story, and it becomes stronger, better, and faster, all that kind of stuff. It does suit the game. The reason why it wasn't too prevalent in the Arkham series was because that wasn't the direction they were going with. Batman did have some kind of smaller upgrades, but we already knew Batman is Batman. He's badass. He knows what to do. He has all his stuff. But moving on to the lower people like Batgirl, Robin, they don't have as much training as Batman. They were trained by him, but they aren't as amazing as Batman. Therefore, it'll take them a bit longer to kind of go ahead and refine themselves. Think of it as like a year one Batman compared to a longer reigning Batman. The one that's been Batmaning longer knows what to do, has better gadgets, better tools, all that stuff. You can see it throughout the Arkham series. In Arkham Asylum, he has the basic tools and necessity he needs. Moving on to Knight, he has this advanced armor, all these gadgets, all of these fighting styles, the fear takedowns, all that kind of stuff. He has advanced. So I think the game might take that route to where you know, we'll have the Bat family kind of get new gadgets, get new skills, and kind of develop through like a year 1 to year 5 type thing, which is definitely really cool to see, especially with it being centered around the Bat family and all that stuff. So what are your thoughts on the gameplay as of right now? I'm liking it. It's not free flow, which is not a problem at all. Free flow is just like really cool to see, but moving to a more of a fighting target type God of War style game where you can go ahead and fight multiple targets at once that aren't one hit knockout or knockdown. They have a health bar, they have multiple ways to take them out, and they won't, you know, get knocked down so easily. You have to go ahead and string up combos that could be pretty cool. Some awesome potential for that in terms of like special combos, special takedowns, like with your co-op partner, things like that. That could be really cool to see. So I'm excited to see what kind of versatility the gameplay offers. Hopefully it provides that classic Batman Arkham style gameplay with a twist on the actual fighting component, with stringing up combos, choosing which enemies to fight at the best time they have health bars, and using which gadgets you want to take out certain things that do the most damage, that take away the most health. That would be pretty cool. So overall, that's my video talking about the gameplay and kind of what I'm fearing, you know, could be a bad thing in terms of there being high level enemies and not being able to silent take down them because they're too high of a level and you are not. The RPG element is a component of the game that is very, very, very crucial to how the game will play. Of course, there will be side missions where you can go ahead and level up, do all kinds of things. There are burrows, different ways to level up, and hopefully that will just add to, I guess, damage and different stat outputs you want your character to be, and that could be really cool to see. So overall, those are my opinions and thoughts and my fears or kind of like concerns about the combat and the RPG elements that follow within that. Go ahead and comment down below once again your thoughts and opinions on the combat, the RPG elements. What's your thoughts on that, the Borderlands style combat system where you have levels above the enemy's head and having health bars, things like that. I think it'd be pretty cool if it is done right. Just don't Assassin's Creed Origins it, please. I mean, the game was great, but the RPG element kind of made it really, really, really tedious to play sometimes. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Once again, go ahead and give me a thumbs up to support the channel and subscribe for more content like this in the future. I'm InfernoKun, and I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out.